Hello and welcome to the 2019 Academy League Summer Split. I am Julian Pastry Timecard, joined by Alberto Crumbs Rengifo to bring you the third and final day of the Week 7 Super Week.
That's right, we get all the Academy games in 1 week.
It's been a lot of games so far, but since our last Academy broadcast, the teams have played 2 games, so let's take a look at some of our standouts. The big news this week is that Golden Guardians traded deftly for Keith, and the team has had a 2-0 week so far, including a win over TSM Academy.
And Keith is one of the best Academy bot laners that we have so far, so it's no surprise that he'd be able to slot right on into Golden Guardians, a team that's been on the rise this split and has a bunch of veterans that will fit right on in with Keith's playstyle.
Yeah, it certainly felt like Golden Guardians were poised to at least be in that top 4 conversation, but now sitting towards the top 2, it's been a really, really good split for that side.
Yeah, and Keith is a player that his last game, we got to see a Syndra be played as well.
That's
on
true.
Cloud9. So he's already shown some flexibility that might carry over into Golden Guardians, who does have the opportunity to put Huhi back in and get really creative in the bottom lane.
Well, on the other side of the trade deal, Cloud9 Academy did not fare as well, dropping a game to 100 Thieves, who secured their playoff spot with the win yesterday.
Oh yeah, 100 Thieves is really the Someday show still. The rest of the team deserves credit, but Someday's doing so much work, and it's hard to deny his effect when, ever since he joined, the team has been on an 8-game winning streak. And Cloud9 Academy is no slouch. They're the best team we have in Academy, record-wise at the very least, and they were not able to match the fury, the wrath of Someday.
I think finally answering the question, Crumbs, how many Thieves does it take? Only one, as long as it's Someday.
As long as it's a really good thief, he can run away with it.
All right, well, as we head into the final day of Super Week, many teams can rest easy with their playoff spot secured, while it's a tough race for that final spot in 6th.
And top 5 are all locked in for playoffs, but nobody has secured a bye, which means the teams at the top are still going to be giving it their all. But on the flip side, nobody's been eliminated either. So it's a close race for the other 4 teams looking for that coveted 6th spot in the playoffs.
Well, let's take a look at what's in store today. In Game 1, we'll have a postseason preview between the Golden Guardians and Team Liquid Academy, and then Revenge and FlyQuest Academy take on Someday and 100 Thieves. And then we'll see if Clutch can keep their playoff hopes alive as they'll play against Echo Fox Academy. With all that, though, let's get into the first game of the day, where Golden Guardians is taking on Team Liquid Academy.
Yes, and like we said earlier, Keith is performing very well on this squad, but he's now playing with a more experienced support in Olay, coming from Diamond. Not to have anything on Diamond, Olay simply has the experience of a championship-winning roster coming from Immortals and Team Liquid. So I think that this might be the way to level up Keith a little bit. On the flip side, you've got Team Liquid Academy that is still sliding, unable to find their footing with the absence of Mike Young. Odd Orange coming in to fill in. Luckily for them, though, they were able to secure the playoff spot regardless, so they still have some time to shore up that shot calling practice, with the remaining matches being Golden Guardians, Optic, and Cloud9 Academy.
Yeah, if nothing else, at least a lot of good practice there, as we'll now meet the team. Starting on the blue side, it's Golden Guardians Academy. In the top lane, Darshan. In the jungle, Hard. Mid, Palafox. Bot and support, Keith and Olay. And of course, their coach, Inero.
And opposite them on the red side, it's Team Liquid Academy with Jenkins in the top lane, Odd Orange in the mid lane, Insanity in the mid lane. Sorry, Odd Orange in the jungle.
There we go.
Shoryu and Matt on bot and support with their coach, Dodo.
And things have been spicing up, I suppose, as the metagame has evolved throughout. I believe we are on 914 now, so we'll see. We've definitely seen a lot of different... no, not yet.
No.
Crumbs gave me the
Whoa.
face. Never mind.
Whoa.
I take it back. We haven't...
I still think we're 913.
That's correct.
Yes.
But we have seen at least Kiana and Mordekaiser have been unlocked. At least Kiana has. I'm not sure about Mordekaiser's status currently, but we'll see what the teams give us here. As we'll start with standard, if nothing else. Aurelia and Sona going to be the first 2 bans. And I now know the best way to spook Crumbs is to tell him the patch changed.
Oh, yeah. Well, luckily I get to see my eyesight is not that great, but it is 9.13. So no fear here, guys. We have not unleashed the wrath of a trillion former meta champions back on this.
Also not unleashed Mordekaiser. He is still administratively disabled by the league.
Yes, and so will Yuumi as Team Liquid bans it.
Get it out of there.
That deadly cat. The thing that really blew my mind was in the LCS when we saw Echo Fox beat Cloud9 and Yuumi almost outdamaged a 1200 AP Veigar, and that didn't even take into account the fact that her healing was over 40k.
That's a lot.
That's
a lot of
crazy stat.
That's an unkillable Corki, which was kind of the story of that game.
Yeah.
Paired alongside Phoenix, but Cannon, Lux, Yuumi, and Sivir, those last 4 bans. And we'll see what Golden Guardians want to take for their first pick here. Again, a side that has seemingly only gotten stronger, though. I feel like they had some hiccups in kind of the middle of the season. We expected this team to be quite strong, and I think they've proven that they are worthy of maybe even that number 2 or number 1 spot.
I think Sejuani is still quite popular here, and Silas as a response is a possibility for Team Liquid Academy, but instead Karma will be first picked, and that's a great flex because you can go in 3 roles, top, mid, and support, and all 3 actually offer very different things for just a plain support with Ardent Sensor, a tanky beefy in the top lane, or just a huge AP burst in the mid lane, making it very volatile for Golden Guardians.
I would have liked Sedge because both these junglers actually like that champion, but I think Karma may be a bit too powerful to pass up, so instead TL will take Xayah and Sejuani. They get the draft kick back though, because it's Ezreal Tahm Kench time for Keith and Ole. That's kind of a throwback to Ole and definitely playing together on Golden Guardians LCS side. So
it is
a very defensive bot lane.
Yeah, so you have a defensive bottom lane already shown, and a Karma lane that isn't exactly the greatest gank lane because typically you're not going to be playing against somebody that wants to stay in the tether range, making it very telegraphed when Karma is ganking you or is being assisted for a gank. So this to me tells me that Golden Guardians is probably looking for a much more robust scaling composition that allows them to hit that group 5 composition with the shields and the Ezreal poke that makes it so much harder to answer. Because if there's an Ezreal arcane shifting forward with a shield and then he can be devoured right after, that's Ezreal's playground.
Yeah, and again, Keith can potentially take over this game depending on where it goes. Rakan though, the obvious pick for Team Liquid Academy to pair in with Desire, so already Phase 2 bans are actually halfway completed. Olaf and Aatrox both banned away, and one more now for TL. Their
Silas, maybe? It was last week's most picked champion against Sejuani, had pretty good success as well, and instead it will be the Jarvan, one of the picks that we do see as just a classic. It doesn't matter if Sejuani's going to be tanky, you can still do your own business as Jarvan, and the Cataclysm might actually win quite a few team fights as well, so it's not to say that it's not a big impact ult.
Yeah, certainly a champion that many teams and junglers are happy to play with, so makes sense to just ban kind of a staple pick away. Also the Kiana ban there for Golden Guardians, just respecting the power of the champion, but that does leave something like Azir up if that's where the Academy want to go. Definitely not my favorite, but it is Azir locked in, and like it's hard to blame him. The champion is very good.
He is, but it's also kind of hard to see his impact in a lot of the fights because of the soldiers, and it's not very flashy compared to what you can get out of a Syndra, a LeBlanc, or even a Kiana right now. So I think that's part of the reason why people are getting phased out of Azir, just because he's become so meta that he's no longer exciting.
Yeah, he's just very boring, to be perfectly honest with you, and we'll see what Golden Guardians do want to throw at it. Palafox also excellent on the champion, so it's actually a nice takeaway as well. But we potentially have that Karma. We see Corki a lot, although I think Golden Guardians do have something else in mind, which I'll be happy to see. But we'll see. Maybe just Gragas jungle and Gangplank top here. Gragas already locked in, and looks like we may be moving Karma to mid lane.
GP would be really good in sharpening up Golden Guardian's damage profile here. It's already very magic damage with Ezreal in the mix, so having a flat physical damage is just going to make it so much stronger for them. However, there's not a lot of hard crowd control besides Gragas. If Karma lands her Q, yeah, it's going to be very useful, but besides that, you're not locking many members down, making it a very explosive team fight so that the Gragas is not going to be able to tank quite a bit. Not that he's going to be going a tank build, but he's going to be popped just like that.
Yeah, it seems like kind of a difficult comp to execute here for Golden Guardians, but we'll see how it all works out. Last pick is Vladimir, which is likely for Jenkins there in the top lane, because GP was picked blind by Golden Guardians, which is a relatively safe blind pick, but you kind of give your opponents a lot of freedom, so deciding to take Vlad, which can be good, and of course is great in the teamfight comp they've built as well.
Yeah, it's scaling against the Gangplank as well, but you have to be careful. Gangplank can bully this lane if he gets to get in range. The Vladimir has to really understand that GP is going to out-sustain him early with Grasp of the Undying, and if that wasn't enough, if he ever hits you with that sword, that burning passive is going to melt you down, and you're going to be behind the minion wave, getting queued constantly, and it's going to be all downhill from there for Vladimir.
Not the most robust laning champion is old Vladimir in the early levels, but
until 9, yes.
Scaling, and of course that level 9 getting a lot better. Very curious to see mid lane though. Again, Karma doesn't get through very often in the LCS especially. I don't think she's ever gotten through since the changes, but in Academy she has seen some play in a multiple different roles. Today it is Palafox taking it versus Insanity in mid. You can see that Airy just for a little bit of harassment there in mid, but Insanity also deciding to keep some aggression. This is one of the things that does make Azir so powerful, is you can kind of take whatever keystone you want. Insanity opting for Electrocute this time around for a bit of earlier pressure.
Yeah, it's the burst squishy down build. It does that a little bit better than going with the Comet. So when you have no real tank on the side of Golden Guardians Academy, it makes sense for you to go that build.
Yep, hard to react with a shield to Electrocute as well. Whereas Comet, you have all that lead time. Been a bit of an invade here though for Hard, who is currently camping the red buff of Team Liquid Academy. But yep, gonna get spotted now. Orange has snuck into the brush, and hello! Jenkins also with the wraparound. Hard maybe too far forward. Yeah, he actually already leveled up W, so Darshan gonna be forced up to help, but you might have to flash out of here. Hard looking for the wall. Darshan gonna try and run interference, but now he's in trouble. Wonder what he leveled, not going to get stunned anyway, so maybe won't matter. Darshan does proc Grasp of the Undying, but this invade continuing actually for the Golden Guardians.
Karma has priority in the mid lane, so she's counting on pushing the wave and allowing Golden Guardians, Darshan, and Palafox to be able to collapse sooner, and it actually works. They were able to bully them away, and that does stop a lot of Odd Orange's clear speed. Interestingly enough, though, Hard did not get to start his camp sooner, so both junglers are just relatively far behind now. That's pretty much it. Nothing happened.
Hard forced to start Wolves here, actually smites it as well, so going to be very slow on this little go-round here. Also, Hard had to use his flash, so doesn't have it. That was kind of the price he paid for that risky invade.
I would have actually not minded seeing Jenkins and Odd Orange flash for the kill on Hard. The reason being that he showed that he committed to starting with W, so he had no body slam, he had no Q to slow you down, so there's no crowd control whatsoever, and a few auto attacks by each and maybe a Q from Vladimir would have gotten the first blood, and I think it would have set Gragas sufficiently far back that Vladimir would not be in danger of dying to the gangplank. Gragas gank.
As you were mentioning though, Odd Orange also kind of a rough start in the jungle, so actually forced to smite the Raptor camp and is going pretty slowly to that one. Also with bot lane having prior, Golden Guardians Academy will commit to this invade on the blue buff that Hard started, but Matt and Shoryu already pulling off, and Odd Orange intelligently pathing straight to the buff means it looks like Hard will not be able to finish his steal.
And Hard gets to be really aggressive here because of Gragas' passive. Every single time he's casting, he's healing up, and that makes a big difference over Odd Orange, who's already out of potions, and while he does have the red buff, it's not enough regeneration at this stage in the game to actually matter and compete against Hard, who is gonna stay full health the entire clear as long as he has the mana to justify the ability.
Keith taking some damage here. Ooh, Q is nice from Matt, but feathers do not connect, so Keith will not be forced to burn any movement blocks. Hard also taking his time on the Scuttle Crab, a lot tougher when you can't take the armor off, but at least gets it down and takes level 3. Looks like the early jungle invading will slow things down as both of them will finish off buffs on the right-hand side of the map here.
This is a good opportunity for Hard to actually path topside with the Vladimir wave about to crash back on Darshan's wave, as you see it stacking up here, and take another Scuttle. 2 Scuttles, you can get a good lead out of Odd Orange from that early level 1 fight.
Palafox continuing to shove the lane here, getting the tether down onto Insanity, but Electrocute proccing does mean a pretty nice trade actually. Insanity not willing to do anything other than stand his ground, and Palafox likely going to be forced back soon as he's running low on mana and both mid laners are out of potions. Palafox just wanting to push this wave one more time.
You know something crazy here, you see that both junglers did 5 camps. Odd Orange did red Raptors, blue Wolves, Gromp, and Hard had done Wolves, Raptors, Red, Gromp, and Scuttle, and hit level 4. And much of that comes from the Krugs.
Yep.
The deadly Krugs that give so much more experience than the ganks coming out.
TP is it?
That's Karma.
Yeah, that is Palafox coming in hot. Ooh, W vs Vladimir. Always been a treat. Jenkins looks pretty dead here. Darshan gonna just try and battle it out. Into the pool he goes. Does wear off the root, but Trying to outplay, not going to last too much longer. A nice cube for a bit of extra survivability, but Darshan with the first blood is hard now, getting chased down. No flash, remember, but he does have the body slam this go-around, so does get out of there.
TL needs to get out of here because Karma is now collapsing, so the invade doesn't really get you anything. It's simply
level 3.
I'm going to walk away.
Sejuani not very healthy. Palafox maybe going to get stunned up here, though. Insanity swooping in. Darshan not going to TP up. Flash out there from Palafox, but Insanity now going to get things turned back around on him. Does have the flash ready. Great Q there by Palafox. Darshan over the top, looking for the flash. Barrels out. Needs to try and get the chain out. Oh, really nice order from Insanity, but the root from Karma going to seal the deal as Darshan gets his second kill of the game. And now bot side Ole in a 1v2. Maybe going to take down Shoyu. He's dancing around the feathers. He's Kenching it up. He pops the soup. He's into the shield. But now another TP from Golden Guardians Academy will force the flash out of Ole. That's Keith coming back to lane. Shoyu forced a flash. Keith looking to finish it off, but he gets knocked up. Matt able to maybe turn it around, but Ole with the Devour spits Keith back into the front line. Shoyu gonna go down with the last lick as Keith still trying to fight it out, but he's cutting towards the wrong turret. Matt, though, is going to go down. What an outplay by the new 2v2 lane of Golden Guardians Academy.
It doesn't stop. It's still going.
Hard again. Ooh, body slam flash into Jenkins. Jenkins pops the pull. No ulti, no hope. Darshan with the last kill. That Q, so good in Jenkins. That flash was a mistake.
The Sheen damage was crazy, and Golden Guardians is so aggressive today. They're fighting at every step of the way. They don't care if they have backup. They're just going in. And it all started from a really good teleport out of Palafox. I think it was Darshan who actually placed that ward in that area because it looked like a ward that would just be there to scout out against a Sejuani, but simultaneously it turned into a fantastic teleport play that we just saw got strung along into 4 kills? No, it was all 5 in that entire sequence.
Darshan got a delayed double, and then the rest of the map kind of fell apart from there. Normally when you see 3 teleports, you're like, oh god, it's going to be very boring, but these were anything but. Because watch this last exchange.
And part of it is that Team Liquid is fighting an early game with champions that have nothing to do in the early game. It's a level 3 Sejuani, and a Azir that doesn't have ultimate, and a Azir that doesn't have items and no mana. Against Karma, one of the strongest early games. In fact, she might be the highest team fight damage level 1 out of all champions in the game. The match is not even close. And here, you have the item advantage from Ezreal, even though he doesn't have the HP. And that makes a big difference when Ole gets to tank some of the damage for him, wait out the Guardian shield, and show you once he's out, Magic doesn't have nearly enough damage to take out anybody else.
I wonder if some body blocking may have helped Matt, but regardless, very well played by Golden Guardians as Keith able to get that other kill. Ole, to his credit, did a great job in the initial 1v2. That kind of bore all that fruit, and all of a sudden 3,000 gold up for the Golden Guardians. That is unreal.
Look at the lead that Darshan has. He's about to finish that Trinity for us already, and we are not even at the 10-minute mark. This gangplank is snowballed if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, hard enough when he just gets extra gold from the parlay, but when he actually gets kills as well, it can be a lot tougher as Barrel not going to get in there. Odd Orange, though, feels like he's been spotted out. And Hard will get the wards with the Scry's Bloom that he popped as well. Not 6 either for the Sedge, so kind of a tough ask there in mid to look for that gank, especially with bottom lane being able to roam up so freely. As you can see, Ole and Hard grouping up together once again to try and take over the bottom half of the map.
It's going to be really hard for Odd Orange to get back into this game, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that they did mess up those fights early on. With Palafox's build, there's just no damage in the mid lane. He's going to be rushing Athene's Holy Grail, giving him magic resistance against 2 magic damage dealers. With the Karma shield, that shield scales off of resistances, making it even tankier for Palafox. As long as he doesn't commit that ultimate in the laning phase unnecessarily, he'll have it up for the shield. He'll be able to get away from Insanity very easily. And so a lot of the control is completely on Golden Guardians, and Team Liquid, their only avenue back here is through the bottom lane, who's also a winning lane for Golden Guardians. So they need to find a way back into this game and not bleed out.
Well, plate gold starting to come in as well, as Keith and Ole will split that first plate there in bottom lane. We also have Hard has started off the Cloud Drake and looks to finish it, although he doesn't have Smite back up for a while. So maybe going to need some assistance. The Gragas passive, though, as you mentioned earlier, Crom, certainly working overtime here. as Hard had just enough health to finish that one off.
Part of the trick of playing Gragas jungle well is actually timing that passive and utilizing your body slams to interrupt the auto attacks of the minions. So whenever the blue buff's animation or the red buff or the camp, when their hands are raised and they're about to hit you, that's when you want to time that body slam so that you not only heal, but you stop it from attacking you, and then it has to reset its auto attack timer again. So jungling like that keeps Gragas at an S tier level because he just does not care about sustain at all.
And is Predator here for Hard? And he does have his boots finally done, along with that Runic Echo, so could be a very devastating gank, especially as the Flash is coming back off cooldown, but Darshan kind of having a field day up here right now. Jenkins is getting perma pushed in. I mean, he's almost level 9, but I don't think the item difference can make up what's happening here.
No, when you're Gangplank, the champion that you pick to outscale.
Oh, that's just really rude.
Wow.
That's a jerk move for sure. But a smart one from Darshan.
Yeah, so you normally want to save it for the bottom lane, but you know that there's just no action that's going to happen in any other part of the map, so you might as well just use it to get a plate. So he uses the ultimate to secure some gold. Not the end of the world when you're this far ahead. Now that he has Trinity Force, that is a 11 minutes and 35 seconds Trinity Force.
Yeah, really fast for Darshan.
Not even rush too, because he has other items.
That's true. Has the boots, has the cloak. Just, oh my god, almost 2,000 gold ahead in the 1v1. We'll watch another lane for a few moments longer because Darshan clearly has a good foothold there in that one. In fact, Golden Guardians up almost 5,000 gold between the two teams, and Olay just getting more and more aggressive. It feels like Team Liquid constantly having to react to this pressure as Odd Orange is mostly in position for counter ganks more than anything else.
It's really difficult for Odd Orange because when you're playing this Sejuani and none of your lanes have pressure, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to gank, but you don't even have the damage to take down most of these members, so it really feels like a big farming game for him. And then now that he at least has drugs available, that should keep him up in gold and experience as he's the same level as Hard, but he gets to watch Jenkins just get shoved right on in without helping him out.
Yeah,
the nature of the match.
I mean, just look at the minimap right now. Every single lane is pushing, and Hard is at the Rift Tower just starting the next objective up. Like, this is exactly where you want to be as far as good early game goes.
I mean, Darshan is literally trading Qs for turret shots.
And an ulti, as the Orange is out of the set jolt, Darshan popped up. Safe enough, in fact, maybe going to turn it around for a 1v2. Forced to flash is Odd Orange, and Darshan just has a bit of a giggle.
He's 3 levels up on the jungler. There's just no chance Sejuani can do anything against him. And now, first of all, disappointed that there's no emote spam from Darshan there or some sort of BM play because that was the perfect time for it.
Did like a little jig. I think emotes are actually disabled on Spectator.
But at least a slash dance, something, right?
Oh,
you gotta acknowledge that you're botting every lane this hard, and it's just gonna get worse because Hard found the Herald right before the 14-minute mark. It's going to yield even more plates, and this might just be one of the most grotesque leads we have ever had in Academy at this time. It's under 15 minutes, and we're close to 10K.
Yeah, I feel like I saw this earlier today in the LEC when G2 played Excel. This is a very accelerated game as the tower does fall in mid. I think that was full plate value also collected. Really nice timing on the Herald drop there by Hard. And Golden Guardian's not done at all. 8K ahead, looking to build that lead even more. The Predator was popped by Hard, though, clear out the control ward there in the Tri-Bush. And Insanity's going to eat the wrong end of an empowered Karma Q.
Yeah, it is rough for Team Liquid now because
that's about to die to poke.
Is telegraphed to beat in the bottom lane. He can't be anywhere else. There's just no chance that a fight is won by them anywhere else.
Matt knows. Does hold off to the right-hand side of the lane after seeing what angle Keith shot the ult at, but that bottom tower is dead, so the outer ring will be felled very shortly, and we'll have another Drake for them to collect in 30 seconds as well. It is just unbelievable how far ahead the Golden Guardians are.
This looks like one of those matches that you remake at this stage. If this was
you're out of the scrim if you're playing.
This was Team Liquid in a scrim, I am banking. I know for a fact that this would be a pause game, GG, remake, and then one team would say, hey, but could you let us try to close out the game? Could you give us the practice? And they say, we don't even want to practice how to come back from this. We'd rather just start again. It happens.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, this kind of game, you have to think really what are the avenues for TLA. We'll see if they can hold on, but Golden Guardians have done a stellar job demonstrating how to snowball a game with the advantages they built just from those first few TP plays. Again, how intelligent and offensively they were able to use those TPs to kind of give them the first advantage, led to now what is almost a 10,000 gold lead at under 20 minutes.
Luckily for TLA, there are no Mountain Dragons or Infernals to solidify the snowball. But with Clouds, they might just be able to run around the map faster and take more of your gold, because it seems to be working.
Yeah, I wonder when TLA will choose to try and find something. Maybe Matt over the wall looks for a bit of poke here, but level down on Ole, who's actually doing a relatively significant amount of damage right now. I mean, we've seen that basically every lane cannot currently hold 1v1 in the states they exist in. So Odd Orange again, gonna have to fire an ulti. I don't think I've seen one all game. Odd Orange there, onto Ole he goes. Matt tried to follow up, but Ole flashes early hard. Already burnt his ult to try and disengage as Darshan gets a cannon barrage down. Keith looking for the sniper, does not find it. Attempt by TLA, but thwarted by the Golden Guardians.
Yeah, Hard did a really nice job using his ultimate to get Insanity out of the fight, making sure that no damage follow-up was going to come through. And meanwhile, TLA, A-ramming in the mid lane, they're losing bot lane tower because Palafox has been able to continue to push, not matched by the Azir. And I want to see Darshan not go into the mid lane here. He has the ultimate, he can help out his laners if need be, and he's so strong that he's taking towers all on his own. He needs to be alone and continue to grow more leads for Golden Guardians, because when you're this far ahead, you gotta take it all. You cannot give TLA.
Oh, Insanity does find Ole. That's a good combo back in, but Ole gonna pop into the thick skin. Will finally fall as Team Liquid Academy do get on the scoreboard.
That was why Hard used the ultimate on Insanity. Did not want some insect shenanigans to happen. And oh man, this Vladimir is just getting bodied everywhere. He now has armor. Surprise, you're laning against magic damage.
Palafox actually looks like enough to push out the Vlad and take the tier 2 turret. The rest of Golden Guardians trying to stick here in mid lane. Just do those finishing touches, but still 50% of the HP to go. Palafox, I think on this wave at least, will get a turret, so Golden Guardians 3-lane siege has not been for nothing. Indeed, the turret does fall. Now 4-0 in turrets. Team Liquid Academy, just the 1 kill to their name.
So a good slowing barrel from Hard at the start of that, but it wasn't enough from Golden Guardians to stop Insanity from looking for something, because it's hard to remember that Azir can be a playmaker. One of the big reasons why he's so popular. Not a lot of other mid laners can do that.
Well, Insanity with a nice move does at least get, again, a team on the board, but still back to kind of the same problems here. Gold lead has shrunk a slight amount, but I think that's more just a natural pause in the game, given that, again, with it being so early, sometimes it's tough to snowball when you've taken everything you can reasonably take. I mean, Baron's not even up yet for Golden Guardians to even look at. And another Drake not up for 2 minutes, so instead Jenkins going to be caught too far down in this lane. Darshan with a Ghost Blade already. Here's Ole. Jenkins with a flash. Gets slowed, gets ignited. See you later.
He tried to turn it on the squishiest target, so at least he recognized that there was a chance to do something there. However, they're just so far behind. Really, for TLA to win this, Golden Guardians needs to drastically mess up.
Well, we'll see what happens maybe in 40 seconds when Baron spawns for the first time this game. Still have some structures to blast through as well, but it's not going to take much more at this point. I think TL committed to holding until they can find something really beneficial. Or a stray pick is always nice. Keith's going to be the target. Good devour though from Ole. Keith's going to get out of there, just shifts away as Ole will be sacrificed once again. Into a thick skin he goes, so that will be a kill to Jenkins.
That's good play by Team Liquid, but they're getting turned around, and Darshan might hit a barrel.
What a choke here. Barrel combo not quite extended enough, but Palafox over the top. Flashes in hard, takes down Odd Orange. In the meantime, as Insanity pops the ulti, but still dies to Keith's poke. And another bit of poke, and another bit of poke as Keith straight in there. Darshan getting the next kill. It's almost an ace as Jenkins going to be the target. The last auto good. The Q does miss, but Jenkins flashes anyway. Golden Guardians with 4 kills to answer for Olay.
They were so aggressive, and I love it. You have a giant lead. You can now turn to the Baron safely. It's only Odd Orange that will be spawning here, but I think you have more than enough damage. Darshan is crazy strong, and that is true. They will secure the first Baron of the game.
Yeah, no time for Odd Orange to get here. I mean, Jenkins, sorry, might make it in time. TP actually being committed as well by Throw You. Let's get the vision and get the bad news. Hard smites down the Baron, and Golden Guardians solidify that lead even more.
And this is a nice idea from Team Liquid, committing a few members to try to get a pick and then back off. I love that they back off right after, but then it's Golden Guardians recognizing, guys, we are so far ahead. Can we really not take a 4v5 after they've committed so much? And they quickly learn that the gangplank goal from Darshan is more than enough to set up the play. You don't even need hard to be there at the start of the battle. And I like that Keith then chooses to flash in very aggressively, because they could have just ran back to turn for the Baron, but reading out a little bit more when you know you can do it is never bad.
Yeah, Keith was not far away from that last kill and the ace as well. And now with the Baron secured, Golden Guardians will go ahead and continue to do what they've done all game long and push 3 lanes. This time, though, much, much harder to defend these towers.
And you have hard using some of the Baron time for that Infernal. I get why you're going for that right now, making sure that the rest of the team gets the last little bit of damage. And there's no push that's happening for an inhibitor tower, so you typically wouldn't see that happen, but I think that in this circumstance, it's acceptable.
Yeah, just had, I think, just enough time as Olay gonna have to face check here. Does get knocked up by Matt, then stunned by Odd Orange into the thick skin once again. Ulti there by Darshan as Olay gonna be forced to flash out of there. Keith over the top, in fact, maybe has enough to just get them out himself. Olay standing firm in the Baron pit, and that's Darshan walking down from top. Keith also protecting his buddy. His new buddy, I should say, as Odd Orange might die to Krugs. No, it's gonna be a tragedy! All right, he'll at least die at the hands of an enemy champion. As Olay, for blood, does tongue lash for the 1 kill. Gonna find Matt as well, support of combat, not very fair. That did so much damage.
2 licks and they're done. And this should be probably 3 inhibitors out of Golden Guardians if they commit to waiting for the minion make, because it's a 17-second spawn time for both Matt and Odd Orange.
Yeah, again, with the time as being as short as they are, given how early we are into this game. A push to the Nexus may be tricky, but we'll see. Golden Guardians at least going to line it up for this bottom half of the map. Insanity will be forced away. That's 2 inhibs, and third is about to be looked at here. I'll take down the tower.
17,000 gold up. They have more than the half of TLA's gold in a lead.
That's a lot. And again, Golden Guardians just can hand firm here. Darshan does get ulted by Odd Orange, but everyone dives in from TL, but they just don't have any gold to fight with. Not strong enough to fall, and they're just going to push in. Keith's going to Blade of the Ruin King Matt and get that kill now on a rampage at 4-0-5. Maybe make it 5-4 as Keith over the top. Oh, blink Q auto, and that's a double kill for the Ezreal. As Golden Guardians just completely smashed Team Liquid Academy.
I mean, this is a smash that shakes you. This is earthquake level smash. This is really just something special out of Golden Guardians, because this looked like the cleanest win and snowball they've had so far. And I love that it begun from their own intentions. It wasn't that, oh, we went on a mistake. It was, here's a play to teleport, here's how we can maneuver, and here's what we can do in the bottom lane simultaneously, and how we can return to the top lane. It was all their own fault. They won on their own accord, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, the level of coordination it took to get those first 5 kills is pretty amazing. And in fact, we'll take a look at that now as Golden Guardians who take an early lead. But watch how they got not 1, not 2, but 5 kills across the Rift.
Yeah, it started with Gangplank getting shoved in by Vladimir, and immediately the punishment comes through. Karma, instead of going back to the mid lane, goes top. Meanwhile, after a long chase from Team Liquid in Golden Guardians' jungle, Karma and Gangplank get to collapse and re-teleport, because it was Gangplank that then teleports to Karma's lane to help out his buddy that just served him up a nice first blood. And then, if that wasn't enough, Team Liquid gets a good engage on our newest Golden Guardian member, Keith. And Olay pulls off a stalling hero 1v2 for just enough time for Keith to teleport right back on. And this is the moment that was really surprising to me when Team Liquid decided to commit for Olay when he was retreating, because he still had Flash and Thick Skin available. There was no chance that the kill was going to come through, knowing that he could always flash out. So unless both members were thinking and willing to commit to flashing forward, the player just was not there.
And then it all comes full circle as Hard reganks the top lane, and Darshan's Q catches that flash and just pops Jenkins for the 5th.
I think if Darshan was not as strong as he was before that kill, it would have been a good flash, because it was the Sheen proc that really did him in. Had he not had the money to get that Sheen by that time, I think that he would have lived.
And from there, the game snowballed on, and Golden Guardians put the final nail in the coffin around 20 minutes in, finding this 4-0 4v5.
Yeah, this was really nice, and it was recognizing from Golden Guardians that they could turn around. And when all 5 members are walking by the same place, I don't even care if it's after a fight. I love the commitment to drop the Gangplank ultimate and the Ezreal. They're already practically dead. They blew Xayah ultimate before anybody came in. And yes, Karma did mess that play up by flashing weirdly and kind of missing her Q, but they're just so strong, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think Palafox is going for some like really crazy Q extension.
But I wanted a Q flash.
Didn't work out. I think that's what he was trying to do, but didn't work. Still, didn't matter. More than enough there for Golden Guardians to steal the rest of that game. And then 4 minutes later, 24:09, the final time on that game, Golden Guardians were able to knock down the Nexus, and
that's a beautiful gold graph.
That's what you want to see when you're snowballing a game.
Yeah.
You ask your team to play good early game and be aggressive, that's exactly the graph you want to see.
This was our best
Well
game.
done, team.
Get that tattooed on yourself. You win the championship. The best.
This is the graph.
Gold lead.
All right, well, to hear more about that victory, I'd like to welcome Olay to the broadcast via Discord. Olay, how are you doing?
So good so far.
Hello. That was very quick and decisive.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you think they should have surrendered and remake?
Oh, yeah, I think after 15 minutes, I have to surrender.
But, I mean, how's it been? Of course, you have a new AD now joining you in Keith. What has it been like playing with Keith? I mean, how many days have you even had to practice together?
We've been practice like 3 days, 4 days, like Tuesday. But I think he's like pretty good AD carry. Also, he's super good at mage. So draft-wise, I feel so comfortable to pick whatever I want. So I think it's really happy to play with him.
That's awesome. We saw him play Syndra last week in his Sunday match. Do you think that we're going to see some more shenanigans in the bottom lane? What's the dynamic happening between FBI, Huhi, you, and Keith now? Because it seems like a lot of the teams are just playing all members of LCS and Academy wherever they want at all times.
I think it's all up to LCS team decision. Like I play or FBI play. I think also I cannot play with FBI because we have like first lot stuff. So I think me and Keith just practice 3 days, but I think if we practice like 1 or 2 weeks more, then maybe we can show up on LCS. Maybe, I don't know. It's up to LCS team.
And I know that at the start of the season, actually, before it started, I heard you say in an interview that you were really happy with the Academy team and just in general the organization. The Golden Guardians seems to put together a really strong 10-man roster. Are you happy now that you've kind of played for both teams? And what do you think of kind of the full 10-man roster that Golden Guardians kind of wields between the two leagues?
I think LCS team and Academy team have different atmosphere. So I think LCS team, I have kind of less voice, but like they have like I always like listen to what they're saying. But in Academy, people like listen to my words more. So I think I kind of like can lead the team like as a support. So I think it's good to practice on both sides.
Nice. And I have to ask for you, we had it in an interview from you as well, that you were just very happy and very thrilled with your new situation. You're meditating and you're doing all of these things for making your life much better. What kind of tips can you share to help everyone's lives get better?
I think since I came to USA, I didn't really like take care of myself. I just like practice whole day till like 4 a.m. I was looking for rank 1 every day, but I think this year I realized that I have to focus on myself. Also, if I don't take care of myself, my happiness is like getting less. So also I think confidence is all up to what I do every day for myself. So yeah, I mean like you gotta do something for yourself.
Well, it certainly seems like it's translating so far. Ole, congratulations on the win today, and
Yes.
thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, well, we're headed for a break, but when we come back, it's 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest. Don't go too far. You're watching the LCS Academy League. We're off the route, but trying to outplay, not going to last too much longer. A nice cube for a bit of extra survivability, but Darshan with the first blood is hard now, getting chased down. Still trying to fight it out, but he's cutting towards the wrong turret. Matt, though, is going to go down. What an outplay by the new 2v2 lane. Pops over the top, flashes in hard, takes down Odd Orange. In the meantime, as Insanity pops the ulti, but still dies to Keith's poke. And another bit of poke, and another bit of poke as Keith straight in there.